They will not sound the alarm before they strike. Instead, they will offer a deceptive smile, a firm handshake, biding their time until the precise moment your guard falters. The instant they perceive a crack in your armor, they will move. In this unforgiving world, perception wields a far deadlier blade than reality. You need not truly be broken for them to shatter you. You merely need to appear breakable. Machiavelli, the ultimate survivor, grasped this profound truth. His longevity came not from brute strength, but from the illusion of invincibility. If you aspire to power, you must engrave this principle into your very soul. Never let the wolves see you bleed. Even on the precipice of collapse, project the unblinking readiness to retaliate. They do not attack out of your weakness. They attack because you look weak. Machiavelli didn't just warn of enemies. He warned against the fatal error of appearing soft. To become truly untouchable, you must first obliterate the very illusion of your vulnerability. The world cares not for your internal struggles, only for the facade you present. You may be hemorrhaging internally, but if that wound is visible, it will be relentlessly exploited. Machiavelli's surgical observation, everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are, underscores everything. Perception is the absolute arbiter. You must forge an image of unyielding strength, even when your core feels fractured. Never betray public struggle. No airing grievances on digital platforms. No confiding in those who have no need to know. Your suffering is a private forge. Every public display of weakness is a data point for those who watch, calculate, and plot. Next, master the art of strategic silence. The more you speak, the more ammunition you hand your adversaries. When your thoughts remain veiled, they are forced to fear what you might do. Unpredictability becomes your shield. Silence, your most potent strategy. Machiavelli believed that survival belongs not to the strongest, but to those who cannot be deciphered. Ruthlessly excise emotion from your decision-making. Emotional individuals are easily ensnared, prone to impulsive actions, desperate apologies, and subsequent regret. Your mandate is to replace "how do I feel" with "what does this achieve?" Morality will not shield you. Cold, calculating strategy will. Sever your dependence on approval. If your focus is on being liked, you become a puppet to manipulation. Machiavelli's stark dictum, "better to be feared than loved," reveals a profound truth. If you cannot command both, cultivate a presence that demands respect, not affectionate attention. When they fear disappointing you, they will obey. When they love you too much, they will exploit you. Finally, rigorously regulate access. Proximity grants control. The more easily they can reach you, the more they will dissect your patterns, your emotional tells, your vulnerabilities. Guard access like a fortress controls its gates. Be cordial yet distant, present yet elusive. Let them glimpse your shadow far more often than your true face. The truly untouchable are never overexposed. They are legends shrouded in mystery. The illusion of vulnerability is an open invitation for destruction. If they believe you can be hurt, they will relentlessly test that belief. But if you obliterate that illusion, if you become an unreadable mirror, an unpredictable storm, they will hesitate. And that hesitation is all you need to win. Power isn't about truth, it's about perception. Machiavelli understood that people are too lazy to look beneath the surface. So the surface is where you reign supreme. Control how they see you, and you dictate how they treat you. Most people bleed out their essence. They overshare, they explain, they defend, they seek solace and sympathy. This is weakness. You owe no one your raw truth. You owe yourself the unassailable advantage. Begin by forging your identity like a weapon. Be seen only precisely as you intend to be seen. To command respect, project competence, and a calculated coolness. To instill fear, let your silence resonate like a palpable threat. Every gesture, every word, every subtle expression must serve a deliberate purpose. Reveal nothing superfluous. Your power springs from your absolute unreadability. The moment people believe they have deciphered you, they will begin to map your weaknesses, test your boundaries, and challenge your control. Never grant them the full picture. Always keep something veiled. Let them speculate, let them doubt. Let their whispers fill with dread over your next potential move. Fear thrives in silence and shadows. Machiavelli warned that humanity is swayed more by appearances than by facts. Use this to your supreme advantage. If you are struggling, project calm. If you are uncertain, radiate decisiveness. If you are planning retribution, offer the smile of a friend. Master the art of strategic deception, not to inflict wanton cruelty, but as an unbreakable refusal to be harmed. In a world where perception dictates status, reality often becomes a secondary concern. You can possess immense strength and still be dismissed if your image is weak. Conversely, you can be hollow internally, yet be feared like a god if your image is utterly ruthless. The untouchable do not beg to be understood for who they truly are. They meticulously sculpt the version of themselves that cannot be challenged. They design their persona as an impenetrable shield, one that reflects chilling intimidation, never desperate vulnerability. Your posture, your words, your very presence, it all must be intentional. There is no room for accident. From this moment forward, understand that your every action transmits a message. Choose every signal with ruthless purpose. When you enter a room, enter like a palpable threat. When you speak, speak like an inevitable consequence. When you are silent, let that silence burn like a potent warning. You are no longer merely a person, you are a force. And force is what makes people hesitate. Perception is either your leash or your sword. Control it, and you will remain untouched. Lose control, and you become everyone's target. Therefore, construct your image like an unbreachable fortress. Conceal your weaknesses behind a wall of silence. Cloak your intentions beneath an aura of supreme confidence, and ensure that every version of you they perceive terrifies them enough to never test the real one. You're dismantling the illusion of vulnerability, crafting an impenetrable facade. But this is just the foundation. Loyalty, a beautiful word, until you realize its frequent use as a tool of control. Machiavelli, with his chilling realism, understood that loyalty is rarely pure. It is inherently transactional. People align with their own interests, not inherently with you. The instant your perceived value diminishes, their allegiance evaporates. If you aspire to be untouchable, you must shatter the illusion that loyalty is your shield. It is not. Power protects you. Cease building fragile emotional bonds. Instead, construct unassailable leverage. Leverage is the iron grip that keeps people in line. If someone respects you purely out of affection, they will betray you the moment that affection wanes. But if they respect you out of necessity, or fear the undeniable consequences of crossing you, they will remain loyal even if they harbor animosity. This is the uncomfortable truth no one wishes to admit. Power dictates behavior. Do not be swayed by kind words or the pretense of long friendships. Many simply await the opportune moment to capitalize on your downfall. Therefore, remain 10 steps ahead. Maintain control over what others need. Make yourself either indispensable or irrevocably dangerous. You must be the one holding the rope, never the one dangling, trusting others not to let go. Machiavelli scorned blind loyalty. He trusted power dynamics. Keep people close, but always maintain the absolute upper hand. Give just enough to cultivate their dependence on you, but never enough to render yourself dependent on them. If someone extends a favor, repay them with strength, not weakness. Never grovel. Never incur excessive debt. Always retain the unassailable ability to walk away, for the one who can leave is the one who commands the game. Emotional attachment is the inherent enemy of strategy. You may love people, but never permit love to blind you. Remain hyper-observant. The most insidious threats are rarely your overt enemies. They are the individuals who feign alliance, patiently waiting for your guard to drop. The untouchable forge alliances, not friendships. They understand that even the most intimate bond can be fractured by ambition, jealousy, or fear, and they prepare accordingly. They make no promises they cannot break. They believe not in forever, but in impeccable timing, absolute control, and abundant options. This ruthless mindset keeps them undefeated. Loyalty, if blind, is a weakness. Let others swear their unwavering allegiance. Let them declare they will never betray you. Smile. Nod. But simultaneously prepare for the inevitable day they will. Because when that day arrives, you will not beg, you will not weep. You will already have their replacement meticulously positioned. You will already possess the decisive upper hand. And that is what makes you untouchable. Not who is loyal to you, but how impeccably you have secured your position, even in their disloyalty. Hesitation is a luxury the powerful cannot afford. Emotion is the weapon your enemies desperately want you to wield. For the moment you surrender to feeling, you cease critical thinking. Machiavelli understood this long before modern psychology. He did not romanticize revenge, he strategized it. He did not act out of anger, he acted out of cold necessity. This is the path of the untouchable. They strike only when the strike guarantees absolute control. If you allow anger to drive you, you will miscalculate, you will overreact, you will be exposed. But if you detach, if you become cold, surgical, and calculating, every move becomes a deliberate step toward dominance. The untouchable are not heartless. They are singularly focused. You must learn to override your emotions, not to entirely suppress them, but to command them as precise tools. Let anger fuel meticulous preparation, not destructive outbursts. Let betrayal inspire silent strategy, not tears or empty threats. Your adversary must never perceive how profoundly they affected you. If they believe they shook you, they have already won. But if they strike, and you do not flinch, if you respond with calm, surgical precision, they will begin to doubt their own power. That doubt becomes your most potent weapon. You must become the type of individual who can smile cordially while planning to crush someone's influence behind closed doors. Not out of a love for cruelty, but because mercy is a dangerous commodity, wasted on those who seek your ruin. When you strike with such finality that it leaves no opportunity for retaliation. Half measures are simply an invitation for future wars. When it is time to move, you ask no questions. You issue no warnings. You end the threat, burn the bridge, remove the piece decisively from the board. Your enemies must fear what you will do, not harbor hope for how you might forgive. This doesn't necessitate public violence. It demands psychological dominance, economic destruction, social isolation, and reputational ruin. Silence their voice. Shatter their influence. Render it impossible for them to stand again without crawling. This is not cruelty. It is survival in a world where weakness is a death sentence. The untouchable do not play fair. They play to end the game. If someone attempts to sabotage you, obliterate the very hand they used. If they spread lies about you, make the truth resonate louder and far uglier for them. If they attempt to steal your opportunity, take everything they hoped to gain and crush it beneath your relentless progress. This is not about pettiness. It is about finality. Emotional people vacillate, unsure of their righteousness. The untouchable do not flinch. They understand that if an enemy is not neutralized, they will inevitably return stronger. Therefore, they eradicate the option. Machiavelli declared that a ruler must master both the beast and the man. The beast strikes without fear. The man calculates when and where to strike. Together they forge the perfect weapon, a mind that plans, embodied in a presence that dominates. That is who you must become. Calm, devoid of unnecessary emotion, lethal. Never act in the heat of the moment. Wait, observe, plan, then execute with ruthless precision. No drama, just results. Those who play the victim will attempt to ensnare you with guilt. Do not fall for it. Guilt is a manipulative tactic designed to disarm you. Your sole responsibility is to the integrity of your own position. If they craved mercy, they should not have instigated the conflict. If they regret their actions, let that regret consume them internally. You do not exist to salve their conscience. You exist to maintain your dominance. That is not arrogance. It is unwavering self-preservation. Do not explain your actions. Do not announce your strategy. Execute in absolute silence. The most effective strikes are those that arrive without warning and leave no trace. When you act, act completely, devoid of emotion, with surgical precision, and then walk away as if nothing occurred. Let the world ponder how it crumbled. Let your enemies sit in the profound silence of your aftermath. That silence will scream louder than any cry. The untouchable do not seek approval for their decisions. They do not justify. They do not defend. They do not whine. They eliminate problems and advance relentlessly. That is the hallmark of a strategist, not a servant of emotion. You do not become emotionally attached to outcomes. You do not chase revenge for catharsis. You pursue victory to secure power. Every act of retaliation is merely a precise move in a grander game. And if that game concludes with your enemy rendered powerless, your reputation unblemished, and your mind clear, you have won. And you did it without breaking, without yielding, without ever allowing them to know how perilously close they came to touching your throne. They tried, they failed, you remained. Because while they played with feelings, you played for keeps. To become untouchable, you must disappear in plain sight. Power finds its safest sanctuary in invisibility. The most dangerous individual in any room is never the loudest voice or the one bathed in the spotlight. It is the one observing quietly, orchestrating the entire dynamic without uttering a single word. Machiavelli instinctively understood this. The moment they confirm you are in control, they immediately begin plotting your downfall. But if you rule from the shadows, they will not even know who to strike. Visibility invites envy. Attention invites sabotage. Influence without exposure is invincibility. Your strength should never be on blatant display. It should be suspected, whispered about, never definitively confirmed. The untouchable understand that the more intently people watch you, the more meticulously they prepare for your downfall. But when you are hidden, you become an untargetable phantom. You are the subtle wind, not the raging storm. The discreet hand behind the throne, not the face emblazoned on the banner. The key to ultimate power is control without credit. Allow others to wear the crown while you quietly own the entire kingdom. Let them squabble over titles and applause while you subtly direct outcomes. This is how you remain undefeated, by being everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. You must learn to influence people without possessing them. Guide situations without becoming emotionally entangled. Win battles without even revealing your presence. Allow others to revel in the illusion of control. Feed their egos. Let them believe they are leading while you precisely shape the path. The more they believe in their independence, the more unknowingly they serve your interests. That is not mere manipulation. It is profound mastery. And mastery is the indelible mark of the untouchable. Cease striving to prove your worth. Cease broadcasting your strength. The most powerful moves are the ones no one ever sees coming. Your enemy cannot block a punch they don't even know is en route. When you are invisible, you become unpredictable. When you are unpredictable, you become unstoppable. Silence is your weapon. Mystery is your impenetrable shield. Influence wielded from the shadows fosters greater trust, precisely because you pose no threat to their ego. They will confide in you. They will lean on you. And they will remain utterly oblivious that every step they take is one you meticulously placed for them. The moment people begin watching you too closely, you become vulnerable. Your patterns become readable. Your image becomes a target. Therefore, withdraw. Detach from the desperate need to be seen, praised, or validated. Your identity should be a deliberate mask, your intentions utterly unreadable. The more unpredictable you become, the more chaotic and error-prone your enemies will become. They will chase shadows, fight phantoms, while you remain perfectly still, calm, and in absolute control. The untouchable don't just win. They make others fall apart, attempting to comprehend how they win. You are not here to impress. You are here to orchestrate. Let others seize the spotlight. Let them burn under its intense heat. You remain in the cool, calculating dark. When others rise too swiftly and too brightly, they draw inevitable fire. But you stay low, meticulously constructing a foundation no one can ever shake. Let your name be forgotten. Let your face be unknown. But let your impact be undeniably, irrevocably profound. Let every victory be credited to someone else, as long as you command the board. Be the strategist who never plays all his cards. Be the master who never reveals his full arsenal. Appear weak when you are strongest. Appear disinterested when you are most invested. Be profoundly underestimated until it is far too late. That is how you dominate. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, but it is best to be neither, and still control both. If this video has been a powerful wake-up call, do not simply scroll past. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson that could redefine your entire trajectory. This is more than just content. It is rigorous strategy for the mind, unyielding power for the soul, and impenetrable armor for a world determined to break you. Every week, we deliver raw, unfiltered truths designed to sharpen your mindset and render you truly untouchable. If you are serious about transcending the noise and claiming your undeniable power, this is where your journey begins. Stay ahead, stay dangerous, stay untouchable. Hit that button, because the next move is always yours.